like we got some other questions that we could transition into.
Okay.
And I guess I'll go next. You know what I mean?
All right.
And my question for this week was, why do you think it is that men dodge tough conversations? The
Well,
tough conversations. I'll kind of give an example of like when we talked about like how we allow women to feel like they broke up with us, and the woman to feel like she broke up with every boyfriend she was with whole time. Dude be breaking up with her, but he doesn't like to have the tough conversation.
oh, I know why.
Also giving another example. With two friends, and we've lived this where it's like, okay, two friends can have a disagreement where a conversation up front could have happened to where everything could be ironed out, but we'd rather not have the tough conversation and just see what happens, and then end up, you know what I mean, messing a friendship up for a few years that it was unnecessary, where the tough conversation would have been the right thing to do. And just like at your job, you know what I mean, instead of addressing the manager, you know what I mean, I'm gonna find another job. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave and just find another job and get out of this situation instead of having the tough conversation. You know what I mean? I think that I think that women probably do it too, but we're going to talk
But
about
nah,
men
I know
and
why
why.
men
Why
don't
do
do
you
it.
think we dodge the tough conversations?
I know why, cause we're not. They don't give us the growing up. They don't give us the tools to have tough conversations. As a boy, growing up, you're taught to, you know, suppress all your feelings and emotions. And if you have an issue, you're taught to address it aggressively. You know,
Mm,
you're taught to, he don't like you. If he's saying something, hit him. Like we just saw
mm,
the teacher talking about the kids, and they're hitting other kids, and the mom was like, "Well, them kids shouldn't have been messing with my kid." Like growing, like we're taught to like defend ourselves. We're taught to, like, somebody don't agree with. We're taught to, like, attack it with aggressiveness,
mm-hmm.
physical violence. If not bad, like we're not taught those different, like, I don't know if they're emotional skills, like I don't know what you call them, but we're not taught to sit with our feelings, especially like as men. Cause like I've had motherfuckers back in the day, we've had issue. Me and old buddy, if I ain't like bro, he ain't like me. We end up fighting one day, getting into a fight, bam, 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 whatever happened.
Sound
We
like you took a
we end up being cool. Nah, 'cause I put my
L.
hands on him.
The bam, bam, bam.
The only thing that happened is
You
bro
got
got
your ass busted, Paul.
nah. Bro got the last lick on me.
The last one
The
was it a
last
good
lick
one
on
though?
me.
Was the last one a good
But
one?
nah, I was curled back. He ain't put me down. I was curled back, ready to hit it, and the motherfucking grab my ass.
Somebody
Cause,
was stopping it. You
cause,
had
'cause I was gonna put it on his ass. Like it was coming. Like I had curled back. I was gonna put it on him.
the
'Cause
fact that he called it curl back sound like he was gonna take an L.
he hit me. Nah, I was finna hit his ass. Well, nah, cause he was the bully. Like he was way bigger than me and all of that shit.
Oh, he was popping your ass.
No, I had a little knot. He had a knot too though.
Hey, as
We
long as he had a knot
we
too,
both
bro.
left with
Okay.
knots.
Okay.
We both got suspended.
What the kids in the class said.
Nobody saw it because it was like a
Oh,
little,
that's the best one then.
like, yeah, it wasn't in front of
Y'all
the.
actually hated each other.
Nah, I didn't dislike
When you
this
fighting
mother.
with nobody around, you hate each other.
Well, no, I didn't dislike this motherfucker, but I remember I called teacher, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I wanted to get out of class for a couple minutes. We had them 90-minute block shits in high school. I wanted to get
Oh,
out.
this was in high school too.
I
And
wanted to
y'all was
get
just
out.
by yourself?
And then I turned the corner and I was like, damn, this nigga. I saw him. Like, this nigga right by the bathroom. I was like, this. I already
Oh,
know
it's got to happen.
I already know he gonna say something. And then I walked there because I wasn't gonna not go to the bathroom.
And he was by himself also.
Yeah, we were both in that motherfucker.
He was waiting on you.
No, it was not me specifically. He was cutting class because this nigga ain't never get no grade. Like he was cutting class because he was a fuck up. I was just getting out of class, but we ran into each other. Like, nigga, what?
What he tried to take from you?
No, he ain't try to take nothing. He called me gay or faggot.
Why he do that?
He called me, and then
Why you do that?
you already know. I shouldn't
I
have
don't
said.
know.
I shouldn't have said the actual
Why
word.
would I?
That's my bad. I shouldn't have said the actual word.
Why would I know why he called you that?
See, you'd have got hit too.
No, I don't know.
You-
Like
you
that's
would've
crazy.
got-
That's a crazy assumption.
You'd have got hit too.
I don't look at you as like a feminine presenting guy, so I don't know why he would call you
I
that.
don't know why he said this shit. It was crazy
Then
to
why
me
you?
too. It was crazy, but I was like, "Hey, bro, you better chill the fuck out." And then he said, "Boop." Nigga,
Oh,
He
he
stole you.
no, I hit him first.
Oh,
He hit me back. I hit him again. He hit me back, and then
so what y'all was just trading?
like blow for blow, like we was just ping,
What kind of
ping,
fight are
don't
y'all
even-
doing, bro?
ping, 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 ping.
This nigga was having an anime fight.
It was kind of like that.
Give me your toughest move. I'll give you my toughest.
But like, it ain't even about this. Shit happened way back. This shit
Yeah,
was
no, it's just funny to
20,
just,
20 years ago. I was like ninth grade,
But
but
yeah,
like.
let's see. We was doing some toxic masculinity stuff.
But my
just now.
thing is,
Yeah.
I stood up to bro,
Yeah.
and we had a fight, and I don't even like, but like, we were cool after that, like bro, because bro lived in the neighborhood right behind mine, like we was chilling after that, like, cause like once I hit him, he hit me, it was like it was a mutual respect,
Yeah.
but like we didn't have the tools to come to that mutual respect without hitting each other.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So,
like once we hit
my
each-
bad. What was the original question?
Why do men dodge the tough
Yeah, you-
conversations?
All right. So how did that relate back to that?
You
Because he
went
just
off
called
at
you gay.
4th grade.
Well, no, because we fought and we became friends because we didn't have the tools to have a tough conversation.
And that's what he was saying. They don't
on-
do
on-
that.
what was-
only thing we were taught was like aggression, and the moment that we both showed aggression, it was respect there.
I know. I get it. I guess I'm asking, what was the tough conversation y'all didn't have that led to the fight?
I don't know what it would. I guess we didn't need to have a tough conversation, but my point was that wasn't my point. My point was,
But you got served. And you don't know
nah,
what.
I didn't get served. I didn't get served. Hey,
Right.
hey, bro, name, hey, Sean.
No,
Hey,
no.
hey,
This nigga naming James Harden right
Hey.
now. Look at.
Hey,
We
like,
just got on Drake about
like,
that. Don't
bro,
do it.
but
Don't.
bro will tell you the same shit I'm telling you,
Yeah,
bro.
but we just joking with you, bro.
I'm-
Yeah,
It's
we
not that
just felt
serious.
like we was making
But-
it look like, and we respect what happened.
I know bro name. I know
Yeah.
his brother and them.
Still hunting you
They
today.
grew up. Nah.
I'm just joking, bro. See, you keep going further, so you keep making it go further. So, in your answer to why men didn't have the tough conversation, you were saying because we
We
weren't
didn't
given
grow up
the
with
tools.
the tools. We grew up just the bravado, and like that's what we learned respect for each other was like the bravado. Because once me and him stood up to each other, it was a mutual respect.
So let me ask you this: what tool would you have used when he called you gay?
The motherfucking right hook.
You did that though.
This
So what other tool would
motherfucking
you?
right hook. That's what it was.
No,
That's-
what tool, so what tool should you use next time if he had called you gay?
Oh, well, I guess that was this right hook. This motherfucking right. This motherfucking right. I ain't had none of them other tools. It was just right.
No, we
fuck-
talking about today,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Right
In
hook.
today.
So
What
today,
tool
like you
would
got a whole
use?
toolbox. Which tool you gonna pull out this time?
Oh, well, nah, I might not even go to the toolbox. I might go back to that old right hook his ass again, bro.
Okay.
All right. Back to serious. This is a serious question that I had, bro. This man's stupid.
Johnny, crazy.
Okay. You got an answer to it? Why, you think,
Yeah. Ask it one more time just so I can get it fresh.
why do you think it is that men dodge the tough conversations?
I was like, I agree closer to Johnny. He just went a wild way with his example. That like in general, we really don't be having like we didn't grow up like learning and seeing vulnerability. Into which like having tough conversations typically means that like you got to like lay on a sword a little bit.
Hey, they can't cancel me, Unc. They can't cancel me, Unc. They can't. We right here. They can't cancel me.
All right. So,
That was hilarious.
but nonetheless, I think that's typically what it is. I think that in a natural way of like previous socialization, I think there's an intentional effort to make sure that today we socialize our sons a little bit differently. But in previous generations, the socialization has been the fact that like as a guy, specifically things that might make you feel vulnerable, you're supposed to grin and bear it. I think you say, you know what I mean, drink water, drive on. Like there's a bunch of sayings that sit to the notion of that whole entire concept. But in general, like it's not something that specifically we probably seen our fathers do. I know that like my father probably was just like in general, it was just a stoic moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think I seen my father cry once, and I was at like his mother's or grandmother's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time I ever seen, and I only seen like the back of him. Like I didn't see tears coming down his eyes, anything like that. So the idea of seeing like a man cry is not something that I specifically ever had a model of.
Yeah.
A man being vulnerable, never had a model of. You know what I mean? So for me, like even individually, that in itself is a journey. Like I said, I think like saying I love you is a journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even like a concept in which like I typically like even right now, and I'm trying my hardest, and this is something that all right. So I guess we'll get into this conversation where with my son, I'm trying my hardest not to pass down. I guess what you would say like I wouldn't. How would you say it? I just say like a generational. Maybe it's a curse. Maybe it's like just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
In which the reason why it's tough for me to say I love you to him is because of I didn't hear that, and that wasn't like a specific thing that was like quoted to me, and so I can see myself. I be just thinking it. We be riding the car like we need to drop him off. Just say I love you, and then be like, all right, son, and that's where I leave it at.
Yeah.
And my thing is that like I have to be intentional about the idea of like don't leave him with that baggage. Don't leave that baggage on him. So like you got to get over like that thing with yourself to just say it. And so like I be forcing myself, and then it be feeling awkward. But I got to break through that spot for myself because of for me like the fact that I didn't see it. I understand that it's not the best thing. Then I have to make sure I do the thing.
Have you said it? You said it at this
Oh
point?
yeah.
Okay.
Like that's a practice that I'm like trying to be even intentional. And I mean again like even with friends whatever like. I know, like we try to have a practice even here, like say I like, but that's a tough thing for me. Just again, like to mutter
we'll
out
skip
specifically.
that motherfucker quick if it's something.
Hey, let me tell you, Q definitely is skipping, and I done paid attention to.
Oh yeah, but
But,
again,
I mean,
I can like I know where it comes from, and it's something
Yeah.
that like for me, it's a thing that I'm just walking my journey and working through. You know what I mean? In which, yeah. So going to that is the fact that there's not specifically in older generations, and again, like this isn't an indictment. I think that that's just the way that we were socialized.
Yeah.
And so like I just know better, so my job is to do better.
Right.
And yeah. So for me that's the answer to the question.
Yeah, no, and you know the crazy thing is that like only reason why I have it easier saying it, and I say it amongst like I told Tank.
Oh yeah,
that I love him
I know
first.
you tell you that. I know you tell me that you love me. I already know, and it much appreciated. Go ahead.
No, it's the answer is I love you too.
Oh yeah, you're right. I love you too.
There you go. But so the reason and the thing was like my dad, it was like a really big thing for him. He never got to hear his dad tell him he loved him. And I think he said he died and he was like 24. My grandfather passed when my dad was 24, and that's something that still to this day he'll bring up that he never got to hear his father say he loved him. So
Yeah.
I remember him talking to me once he finally said it to me. I remember him telling me how hard it was, and like he was saying, riding in the car and like. I'm gonna say it this time. I'm gonna say it this time. All right, son. Have a good day.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
It's very, very much so difficult for us to get into those vulnerable states. And I
Facts.
think that, and what I was trying to think too is like in the specific scenario where you were breaking up with a woman. So it's not so much of you being vulnerable. It's pretty much you voicing what you want. You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
want
but
to
you have
end
to like
this
be
thing.
vulnerable to say what you're dissatisfied about.
Yeah, but yeah. So I guess it's the conversation all together.
Vocalization is vulnerability because once you vocalize it, it can be attacked.
And then make you feel
And
bad.
then it can
and
be
then,
attacked. Yeah, and then it's like, do we also feel bad for making other people? You know what I mean? Making a woman feel bad is that the reason why we'll just let her break it off instead of us break it off?
And it's the
Is
easy
it-
route.
Because when
It makes it. I guess it makes it.
but
easier.
as the guy, it's easier to hear what I did wrong versus
It's because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
naturally
like
always
me
hear
telling
it too.
somebody,
Yeah.
"Oh, you fucked up here and you fucked up there, and I needed love right here."
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like man, like as a man telling somebody I needed love and you didn't give it to me, that's a vulnerable space to be in as
Absolutely.
a man because like how that sound,
Mm-hmm.
like how that, but a lot of us guys was in the spot where we needed the love and we didn't.
Your
get
mic.
I'll say every dude has probably been to that in that place where they feel like they didn't get, or they didn't get. We ain't gonna say they felt like they didn't get what they needed.
Right.
From an emotional standpoint. And especially as we talk about with fathers, our fathers didn't necessarily think that it was necessary. They didn't think that it was necessity for us to get that so that we could become productive balanced
Yeah.
men,
But
and so
clearly,
because before that they didn't think that being emotionally balanced, that wasn't even a thing, and it's dope that we have.
it couldn't even be an option before. Like for up, like them being emotionally, it wasn't really an option based on, especially like we talking about our grandparents. Like it
Mm.
Right.
wasn't even like an option for them to be emotionally balanced. They were literally just trying to survive. Where we don't necessarily have to take the survival mindset
Mm.
and put that on our kids because we thriving. There's
Mm-hmm.
a difference between thriving and surviving. Are
For
we the
sure.
richest motherfuckers in the world?
Mm-mm.
Nah, but are we tenfold from what
Very
most
much, yeah.
people go? Absolutely. And yeah, I guess that's
Yeah, and I think, yeah. Tone, did you have anything to add to that, or were you kind of?
Not like how I look at stuff. Like I know me. Like the hard conversation for me comes from a few different places. Like if I was looking at like my growing up, like my dad grew up with sisters and my mom grew up with brothers. So that dynamic was already like, and then my dad wasn't in the house. So even but even like being around him in his emotional state, there was this thing of I know I didn't want to be like that. Like or I felt like I didn't want to be like him.
Mm.
Like that was a big thing because like my dad, he's fully into his emotions.
Mm.
Like it's like the opposite. Like he's fully
he
into
grew
emotion
up with
and
sisters.
yeah. So it's like he talks about everything. Like everything is a big deal or everything is this big thing. And
Mm-hmm.
it used to just like kind of disgust me to a degree.
Bro,
Like and I
to
love my
learn
dad,
some
but
of
it's
these
just like
lessons that we talking about now at an earlier, he might not been able to vocalize them or something, but he probably learned a lot of these lessons growing up with women that like we're just now learning because he just had that experience.
then with my mom, like my mom talks about we it's a lot that we could talk about, but there was also the hard conversations there because naturally she's a woman, but she's a woman who grew up with all brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a layer there of toughness
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you being soft if you got feelings about certain thing or if you talking about these certain things like so it's like you can't like and that's not all her because my mom did talk about a lot of stuff but there was a lot where it's like yeah you can't like I kind of still feel that in my head. Like if I complain about something, then I'm being soft about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not no need to be complaining about it. Either do something about it or shut up.
Right.
Like
Right. Right. Right.
kind of one of them things. So I think that's what happens with a lot. I think that happens with different men. Like different men have different scenarios from growing up that makes things hard to have a conversation about.
Not
Like
facts.
or have the hard conversations about.
Hey, read the comments. What the comment?
Um, y'all gonna say I got y'all on the comments too. Every comment ain't gotta go up. But you say that's why something ain't cheap. Because they feel like they're not getting in love that they deserve. But in most cases you get what you pay for. And sometimes you get with the person that don't love you. They might care about you strongly, but they don't love you. And a lot of men need love too. It sounds bad, but it's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or he
But
said men cheat, not cheap. That's what he said. He meant
Yeah.
cheap.
And read the one above that one, and then I'll respond to it real quick.
can you love too much?
No.
Oh.
Not him. My mother. Mama
She said
Sharon.
it's easy for me to say I love you because I say it all the time.
Oh no, for sure.
Mm.
And I think that like I think that there is a difference in the sexes in which
Mm-hmm.
like mothers naturally are going to say that a lot. At least that's been my experience. I think that what you parent and model yourself after is going to be like the father figure, and so,
But
which
then
is which is my dad.
watch how easy it
Um,
is for you to tell your daughter. It's a man to
oh
male thing. It's a
oh
man to
Well, yeah,
man
because I
thing
oh
tell
no,
my
it is.
I
All
tell
right.
my mama I love her. Me and my mama say I love you
all
Yeah.
the time.
all the time.
But I'm just saying, like you, when it's like children,
With
when
me
you're
and my
talking about like a
pops.
child, the
Mhm.
scenario with you and your child, it's a man to man thing.
I
Yeah.
will say that's one of the benefits I did get from my dad. I guess like that's never been a hard thing for me to say. Like as far as like I love you or something like that. I've never had a problem being vulnerable amongst my brothers or if I feel somebody is my brother or my homies anything like that. I haven't had a problem saying I love you. That wasn't something that
Yeah,
was
and I
like
thought it was dope. Like when I met your pops, when when he was like when y'all were when we were leaving, I love you, son. It was something.
yeah.
It sounded natural, and it was like you know
Yeah.
what I mean, something that I could tell that he didn't have a
Yeah,
problem doing at all.
he wasn't the perfect dad, but that was one thing I definitely heard from him a lot. Like plenty
Mm.
of times, whether he like, and I mean he don't mind. My dad done cried in front of me, everything. So it's like vulnerability wise, that wasn't the hard thing for me. I would say it definitely might have been more my mom's
I'm gonna
influence
say
with some
that's a
things as
certain
far as
strength in that too, being able to like show your vulnerability. Because at the end of the day, no matter how tough you look, everybody got that soft spot.
I ain't never gonna fraud. So like, when my grandfather recently passed, and it was a lot for whatever reason. It was like thing going on in the house or whatever. And I remember when I was crying, and I remember not coming in the room, and the first thing I thought about was to straighten. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Get this. So this ain't happening. Making it seem like this not happening. That was the first thing I thought about was changing that whole scenario. And then it even clicked in my mind. It's like, let it go, bro. And just let it go. And I remember just sitting there asking me, Daddy, why are you crying? Why are you crying, Daddy? And I couldn't respond, of course, because I'm sitting here like, you know what I mean? But it was, I think that it's very important. I've never seen my dad cry before.
Mhm.
But I think it's very important that, you know what I mean, that we do allow even our daughters to see us cry
Yeah.
because it
I
humanizes
remember the only
us.
time I seen my
And,
pops cry. It was one time. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a death.
Mm-hmm.
It was one specific death. Like I remember hitting that corner, kind of catching bro off guard a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and like, oh shit,
mhm.
what? Like it was
Mm-hmm.
a, it was
It
a
was a
thing.
thing. It's crazy to
It,
think that when your dad crying, you remember that
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
rest of your life.
like
If the
literally,
one time, even if it
Yeah.
happened one time, you remember that
And
the
that
rest of your life.
and that seems to be like a
I,
you know what I mean, a commonality between all of us is the idea.
like it hit like I was sad.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I'm
If I
like,
seen old head crying, I guarantee you that it's gonna take me to a
I'm
different
like,
place.
what the?
And I guess so. I'll leave it with I guess there is an observation that I have had with having a daughter, in which to me like almost like the day of, maybe like day after, whatever. Up until now, something that I did like, and it was really easy for me to recognize with having a daughter in comparison to having a son. And I think that it made it even more apparent. The fact that I had my son first
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that in general, we parent, the sex is different, and we specifically parent our sons with our ego as this man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the hard part comes in, is that parenting your son, it comes with a lot of the ego. And you want him to be tough, you want him to be strong, you want him
Mm-hmm.
not to do this, that, and the third, and be all these other different things. Where easily with my daughter, I felt that quick release of like it was just full vulnerability. It don't matter what happened. Like I'm just here
Mm-hmm.
and present and just the most loving. And I think that it's also been like a blessing to the idea. Like I can see that to where now it allows me to like be able to push that a little bit more towards
Fusion.
yeah towards my son.
Oh,
And
that's a beautiful thing.
No, it's
'Cause,
crazy
like,
because, and I'll tell you, that's
that's a
why
beautiful
I
thing
was
for
glad that
sure.
I had my daughter first
mhm,
because I already knew if I had my son first, if I
mhm,
had a boy first, I was gonna be
mhm.
OD. I needed to be softened up.
Yeah.
I had to be softened up, and I'm glad because like even still, I'm glad the pod too. I'm glad for the pod too because the pod helped me to realize that even though I had my daughter first, it still wasn't rolling over the right way. You know what I mean? It
Mhm,
wasn't rolling over. So like it's talking through it in Jeff.
mhm.
You know what I mean listening to Jeff when he was here on the pod,
Yeah.
season 3, and just hearing him talk about it too is like I do parent. I do want. I'm going to parent them differently, but at the same time, all of this fucking bravado. You know what I mean? And I still push him around and stuff. He ain't but one. He walking real good. I still, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
push him around and stuff. But it's still like I make sure I kiss him on his cheek,
But
kiss him on his forehead,
you got that other
hugging him.
side now.
And then what really killed it was then like after I start doing these things,
Mhm,
he literally like laid his head on me when I hold him for the first time,
mhm.
and it was like that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Like he had literally like the first time he laid, you could hold him, but it's different when he laid his head on you. You know what I mean? Because he's not really a very affectionate, and I think that's probably I'm gonna take that
Oh,
myself.
that's he half you.
Yeah, and so like I
Mhm.
have to intentionally be more
He half
affectionate with him.
real. So whatever rail don't wanna.
Hmm.
That's a little rail walking around. Hell,
And I guess I'll finish off my part with, because y'all share the idea of like the first time you seen your father cry. I think that, to be honest, if I put it inside first person perspective, and I also shared the first time I seen my father
I think we
cry.
all did.
So I think probably honestly the first and only time my son had seen me cry, um, would be maybe I don't know. I know it maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, but it was a moment and it was an unexpected moment where I had a friend that I grew up with. Well, you probably know him, but I had a friend, Trez. Trez had passed, and again, like that, like the concept of this happening, like maybe you could see it a little bit, but it would still hit because again, like this is a childhood friend who first taught me how to play drums, and
Around
like
the
this is
same age.
literally the same age,
Yeah.
and like the passing of him when I first got it. You know, I'm like, damn, it hits, and then like you just in the room and you just feeling it, and he just walked in, and you know what I mean. Like I remember that moment specifically because of at that moment you have like that choice, and like you spoke about it, where with your daughter you had the choice in which, damn, do I like do this and then pretend like ain't nothing happening, or do you just sit there and talk through it and have that real conversation? And I say that at that moment I chose to have that real conversation and explain the entire thing to him. Yeah, that's the both of me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nah, we'll go ahead and land the plane with that.